I'm headed to LA for Coffee Fest to teach a few classes, give a few speeches, and meet with some clients. That being said, I lived in LA for 5 years, so there are some things I have to do while I'm in town. 1 is get In-N-Out Burger. 2, drink coffee with a wine snob.
I sell wine. I was a floor sommelier for about a decade, and then now I'm in wine distribution. So I work for Grand Cru Selections out of New York and Von Boden. So I don't know, there's a debate whether or not you can call yourself a sommelier if you're not on the floor of a restaurant, but I sell wine to restaurants, so I'll go ahead and say I'm a sommelier still.
First, stretch my legs. Next, I should try and get it on their time zone schedule.
Well, it's 4 in the morning here in LA. Of course, I'm on East Coast time, coming from Miami, and nobody's around. The streets are totally empty. It's basically like that Tom Cruise movie. And of course, first things first, get some coffee and see what we can do. I just remembered Collateral. That's the Tom Cruise movie. Anyway, see you later.
I'm ready to meet up with my wine snob. I say that lovingly because he's also my good friend and former college roommate, Adam Ohler. He also happens to be a wine expert and sommelier. I just call him a snob because I have to. So we're in Los Angeles, home to great roasters like Groundwork Coffee, Go Get 'Em Tiger, Cafe Lux, and La Mille. So I wonder where Adam wants to meet for coffee. Chinatown? Well, this is unexpected. I love coming here for food, but I've not heard much about the coffee scene in Chinatown in Los Angeles. Adam, what made you pick this place?
Like, I drink good coffee at home, but I just felt like if we were going to pick a place to properly evaluate coffee, I wanted to pick a place with a clear point of view. You're the expert, you can kind of tell me, but it's also an independent shop in the middle of Chinatown. It's their 7th year anniversary. Checks a lot of boxes for me.
We ended up in the Far East Plaza building, home to Endorphin. Kind of a mix between endorphin and caffeine. Endorphin was founded by Jack Benchackle, former biochemist that had previously helped develop cancer-fighting pharmaceuticals and later went to culinary school and focused on patisserie. The space is sparse, and yet not unfriendly. The Nashville hot chicken place across the hall, Howlin' Ray's, is lively and loud, while Endorphin is quiet with friendly service and a great selection of curated coffees and a very minimalist menu to match the decor. They're not afraid to say no or keep sizes and options away from you. In a world of option overload and decision fatigue, I found this incredibly refreshing. Jack plays the role of mad scientist behind the bar very well. But do the coffees live up to the expectation?
I think he's at the height of his craft, even though I don't understand the craft. With this, I would I would smell it. I mean, it smells like a really nice balanced espresso. It's very aromatic. That might have a little bit to do with the fancy glass too. I mean, it smells amazing. It doesn't smell over roasted. It smells very balanced, like a great piece of chocolate would smell to me.
Fruity but earthy.
Totally.
Way more earthy than I was expecting.
On the palate, one thing with, this is really good. One thing that's really cool about on the palate in terms of wine is where does it hit your palate? I was thinking in terms of wine has a little bit more acidity than coffee, but is it linear or is it rounded? Does it hit the front of your tongue and kind of stay there and go back to front? Or does it coat your mouth and is it more viscous? I would say this really sits in the front. The bitterness is really nicely worn on the coffee. It has some really like beautiful dark chocolate kind of cocoa notes that kind of coat your tongue. There's a really nice texture to it. You can feel the oil from the grind. You know, as ground to order, I think that's something you can really tell the difference in. I think moreover in terms of texture, it just has a really nice texture. It has a very sexy kind of velveteen mouth coating texture.
Very sweet finish, like definitely chocolate on the finish.
It's like black with a little bit of blue fruit. Like just a
Yeah,
little
like
bit.
a little blackberry in there. And then we have a giant cup of coffee to try to taste. Ooh. Big pour over. Sharing size. Sharing size. Should we get 2 straws?
Yeah, so this is very blue fruits, blueberry chocolate covered blueberries, like
Blue fruit, blackberry, like plum.
blue plum.
It's actually more aromatic and even flavorful. It's got like really clean acidity and really clear flavors. Very light body, like almost tea-like.
Totally.
And a super clean finish. There's also like flowers in there too. There's a bouquet of flowers in there with the fruit.
Yeah, it's like lavender, like purple flowers.
Jack's personal attention and extreme focus pay off with some incredible coffees delivered in a very idiosyncratic way. These are the types of places that we are missing in most cities now. Places of personality. Now it's time to get drunk in a very elegant way.
So this is a really cool bottle of wine, which I've never had before, which very few people have had because it's from the current vintage. This is Julian Hart's Mosel, which is a really rare bottling in California. The importer Von Boden's out of New York, so most of it ends up on the East Coast, what does come into the country. Damn it, New York. But what's really cool about this is it's cabinet level from a really iconic producer in the Mosel, and the vintage is 2021, so it's supposed to be the best vintage for Riesling in many, many years, probably a decade, so a legendary vintage. And what's cool about this particular bottling, and not that I really ever care about wine scores or anything like that, but it's the first time a cabinet level Riesling has gotten 100 points. It's like fresh passion fruit. It's like passion fruit soda.
Say this is juicy.
Sweetness to acidity.
Very acidic.
I would say it is just underripe tropical fruit and really intense and very mineral and a very linear wine, very acidic. Yeah, I think it is applicable to drinking coffee for sure.
I think there's a ton of crossover between tasting coffee and tasting wine.
Totally.
I think that balance is always generally prized in coffee for the most part.
Same thing about wine. It's everything.
You know, of course, there's a lot of roasters and people who are like acid heads, you know, that are like super into like highly acidic coffees that are, you know, can be out of balance. Or some of the natural coffees that are naturally processed, which means they spend more time in their fruit. Those can sometimes be like a little bit funky because it almost has like that rotten fruit taint to it. And sometimes it's good, and then if it goes over a certain line, then it's not good. And some people love it and some people hate it. Well, there you have it, folks. Wine tasting and coffee tasting are not far apart. We're using our nose, eyes, and tongues in the same way. We're just searching for different signs of quality and sensorial markers. At the end of the day, I can tell a good wine from a bad, and Adam can tell a good coffee from a bad one, but I wouldn't trust him with my green buying, and he's not going to hire me to do his wine program. Not yet. Hello and thank you again for joining us. We really do appreciate the time that you choose to spend with us. If you have any ideas or comments, please drop them below. We'd love to hear them and respond back to you. Also, please subscribe or share with a friend. The more people, the merrier. So thanks again, and we'll see you again soon.